Jaylen, first of all, I guess, can you just take us through the final play, what you saw?
The final play, smoked the layup, got a good steal. Um, going against the clock, just blew a layup.
After a loss like that, what do you guys say to each other inside the locker room?
I mean, tough loss, but we got a game tomorrow, so, what can you say? Get ready for the next one. Defensively, we held them under 100. Offensively, we struggled at times, with movement and, continuity and some stuff like that. But, defensively, we could have did a little bit better, but holding the team under 100 is solid. Offensively, we still got, to figure some things out now that guys are back.
Yeah, what changed offensively late in that fourth when things got stagnant?
We got to keep moving, keep cutting with pace. I thought in the fourth quarter, we got away from what we wanted to do and stuff like that. We were rushing a little bit, and we could have took our time. We had some calls that didn't go our way. That was tough. Some we disagree with, but man, it sucks to lose this one because we wanted to win this one.
How tough is it to compartmentalize and move on to tomorrow?
It's not tough at all. It's what our job is to do is to play basketball through, throughout the season. So, as tough as the loss was, we got to come back ready tomorrow. Ready to play against a team that's been playing well of late, that's hungry, that wants to beat us, and we got to do our jobs.
Thank you.
Since you guys are getting so many people back right now, is there a bit of an adjustment period to kind of remember how to space and where to move to and kind of crunch time when guys are going ISO?
Yes and no. I think that, having an identity and a play style is important. We want to get easy baskets down the stretch, not tough ones. And, some of the actions that we had put in and things that we went over, we got to emphasize those. Make the game easier rather than harder. Sometimes we can stand and watch a lot, and sometimes we need to, move and cut and get some easier baskets down the stretch. San Antonio did a good job of guarding and protecting the rim, but we got to still put pressure on them with our cutting, with our off-ball actions, instead of standing and watching.
Every playmaker kind of has their preference on this, but when you're driving and you're hoping to kick, do you want the guys spacing to stay in their spots and hope that you can draw that defender in, or do you want them kind of lifting and flaring so that they can try to get open?
It depends. It depends on the defense, how they're guarding. This team was switching a lot, other than Pirtle. So, what we needed to do was, hit low and roll, and then make the play on the backside once they rotated. So preferably against this game, you'll rather them lift to create that spacing rather than just stay there in the corner. But we got to put pressure on teams by having a rim threat. And at times we was just setting casual screens, not reading the game and reading how the team was guarding us. We got to make teams pay by the way they play us, and we didn't do that tonight.
I mean, in crunch time, usually it'll be you or JT handling the ball for the most part. But like in that Phoenix game, when they were switching, so a lot of Rob would have the ball, or Al would have the ball, and you guys would have split actions to try to confuse them. Would you like to see those guys handle the ball more in those situations so you can kind of play off of that?
Absolutely, and I think even in this game when we went on good offensive stretches, the ball was coming from Al, coming from Rob, et cetera, and we were cutting and setting screens and taking advantage of some of those actions, how they were guarding us, and then we kind of went away from that, and we got to make teams pay. We can't just be out there playing basketball. We got to read the game a little bit better. And tonight was a tough loss. I smoked the layup, but I'll bounce back tomorrow.
Jaylen, you guys have you and Jason, two premier scorers, guys who can put the ball in the bucket. And maybe you've answered this, but how can you make the offense easier in the fourth quarter where you or him or someone is just is getting the easy buckets, or because it seems like you guys, the Philly game, the Milwaukee game, are just having trouble scoring, and other teams seem to go to their guy and they're scoring those buckets.
I like playing through the bigs. I like playing through Al and Rob. I think those guys are great playmakers, and then depending on how teams guard us, that's a way to get, some better looks and some easier baskets rather than everything having to be isolation, or everything having to be like a tough drive and kick. And we got to stick with that at times. Sometimes we like, having the ball in our hands, etc. But, playing through some of those guys are good for us and good for our team.
Are you at this point playing sometimes into defense's hands when you're seemingly kind of predictable, or when they're collapsing, they're trapping, they're basically making sure you or Jason don't beat them?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, like I said earlier, I think we just got to recognize our teams are guarding us, and every time down, make them pay. Like this team was switching a lot, other than Pirtle, and we could have got some steals, could have got some slips. I think we did. We got a few, but not enough, and we could have, really took advantage of that, like we did in the Phoenix game, and we didn't do that as much tonight. We just got to trust the big, get off it, tell our guards to get off it, and then cut away, screen, and then come back and play.